Hi, good evening. I wanted to go ahead and record this quick video to touch on a subject that has become, I don't know if near and dear to my heart is exactly the phrase that I would use, but I think mission critical for any AI native, AI first business to actually consider when they're looking at moving from interesting, exciting prototypes and production demos that are now starting to become real parts of their operation to having an overall strategy that accounts for governance and it accounts for infrastructure in a way that I've not really seen many businesses approach as of yet. Especially with the rise now of agentic operating systems, agentic AI, and agents that are capable of taking action across multiple tools, multiple contexts, multiple hours, multiple days. It's important to consider how does that all actually come together into a place that you can monitor, maintain, log, and understand what's being done and why on behalf of your business, whether by a human agent or by an AI agent. And the governance layer is something that's really, really important. And what I see all the time is a variety of really, really powerful and interesting memory projects. I see really cool knowledge based and organizational memory solutions, but I'm not seeing a lot of progress in the governance layer that is really going to be the most critical part of actually having long term success deploying AI systems, whether they're agentic or just simple ones, into your business. And it really kind of reinforces the need for a project that I open sourced earlier this year with my team at Foundari called Central Memory Hub. Central Memory Hub is significantly more than simply a memory solution for multi-agent AI systems, although it is that and then some. But it is a vendor-neutral organizational memory framework built specifically for multi-agent AI systems. So CMH will actually give heterogeneous AI agents, whether it's Claude AI, Claude Code, ChatGPT, custom GPTs, local models, custom harnesses, whether it's Hermes agent, whether it's OpenClaw, whether it's Codex from OpenAI. It gives them a shared memory substrate that they can all read and then write to. One persistence layer, every agent, every session. So the landing page is actually what you see on there. There is a link to the GitHub if you wanted to go ahead and fork the repository and begin trying to build this for yourself. All of the foundational tools, all of the architecture, all of the process and kind of decision making that went into why we decided to do this exists in that project. We are in the process of revamping kind of the next version of this, so we will be making some pretty significant updates to the Central Memory Hub project over the coming probably 60 to 90 days. And really, it's important to understand that it's not just the memory that's important. It's the fact that you as an organization now capture all of this data from any model that you use, from any tool set that you use, and you're able to save it into the Central Memory Hub itself. You can connect it to your custom GPTs. You can connect it to Perplexity. You can connect it to Claude, whatever the case might be. And really, when it comes down to it, it provides you with a way that you can own all of this organizational context. You can own the memory infrastructure for your business. And a business gets smarter over time as these things accrue and as this memory grows. And it is a multifaceted type of memory structure. We started off with structured memory in a SQL type database. We use a unstructured memory inside of a database as well. So we've got a particular database for unstructured memory, a vector database. And then we also use a graph. So we're creating a knowledge graph or kind of a wiki of interconnected nodes and edges that allow for the relationship between these pieces of data to be very quickly explored. The AI agents in question, once they're connected, are able to traverse all of this different memory, and they're able to do so based upon the seniority and based upon the levels of trust that you actually assign to them. So it's really important to understand that when you start to connect your AI agents and these AI systems to your tools, whether it's via an API or an MCP server or whatever the case might be, these things then gain the ability to read almost all the time, and in some cases, well, maybe a lot of cases, actually write back to that source of truth. So if you have multiple people on your team that are using different instances of AI tools, and they are having their agents write to a shared drive, they're having your agents write to a CRM or an invoicing platform or whatever the case might be, it's super important to be able to capture a log that's actually individually tied back to that particular agent via, at the very least, a named API key, and being able to understand, what the agent actually did and why, and have a log of that, a decision history of all these things that happen, so you've got a durable record of what's been done by whom and why inside of your business. So semantic memory is one piece of it. Vector database embedded in, we use Pinecone, but you could use any of them. Structured memory, so this is that SQL type database. Role attributed decision, facts and knowledge, full provenance, so every entry knows who created it and why. An agent directory, right? So we have a hierarchical org chart inside of the central memory hub that shows all of the individuals that are active inside the organization, both human and AI. And then we provide the ability to quickly share context between different agents, between different projects. There's an inter-agent messaging protocol that we've used to continue to provide kind of a additional tool set. Decision logging is clearly important. But at any rate, I could go on and on and on about this, but if nothing else you take away from this video, I'd encourage you to start to think about kind of what is the governance layer, what is the governance policy, and how are you managing AI as infrastructure inside of your business and not just another tool you are acquiring from a vendor. Now, the models on the frontier get more and more capable every single day. To a certain extent, they're actually commoditized, right? But what is not available through any vendor is the organizational context, that tribal knowledge that exists inside of your team's head that oftentimes is difficult. Sometimes it feels like it's impossible to actually get documented. And then if you think about all of the different experiments or all of the different utilization that your team has done over the course of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years with these AI tools, right now, my guess is that the vast majority of the context and the history and the memories that have been created between you and your teams and the AI are inside of the AI provider themselves, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if you also have a durable, legible, auditable copy of that memory for your whole organization. And over time, this is an investment to create this kind of solution. This is the investment that will pay dividends in a way that's hard to quantify when you first get into it, but is actually invaluable over a span of 3, 5, 10 years. So take a look at the Central Memory Hub. Feel free to, again, fork the repo, give it a try. Feel free to reach out to us on social. You could shoot us a message, but this is something we're going to be making some more content on. If there are any questions that you have, drop a comment. Happy to answer it. But this is something that I feel very strongly is really important. I'm seeing tons of really killer projects around memory, around state, around providing some individuated context for an AI agent on kind of a one-to-one level. But what we need to realize is that very soon companies are going to be dealing with situations where their team is 5, 10, 20, 50 humans. And then there are also going to be 50, 100, 250 AI agents that are at their company's disposal that their team is working with each and every day. And as additional context and memory and value is generated, you need to make sure you have a solution that accrues that value to your organization without being obligated to maintain a relationship with any particular AI vendor or model provider or whatever the case might be. So at any rate, hope this helps. Just wanted to get kind of some of my thoughts on the topic out into this video. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Take care.